Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. One of the most hotly contested issues in this case is also sealed with a complete shroud of secrecy, and that has to do with the matter of alternate perpetrators. This is a theory that, generally speaking, when a defendant is charged with a crime, the defendant, although he's not or she is not required to raise any type of a defense, will occasionally raise the defense of alternate perpetrator to allege that you've got the wrong person. Someone else committed this crime, it wasn't me. And it's then the defense's burden to raise sufficient evidence connecting the alternate perpetrator to the crime. In this case, the matter of alternate perpetrator was raised by the state of Idaho back in February in one of the motions in limine. In this in limine, that means before trial motion, the state raised issues concerning the possible entry of alternate perpetrator evidence in the case by Mr. Kohberger, and Mr. Kohberger filed a response thereto, where his counsel alleged that there were numerous alternate perpetrators in the case. What Judge Stephen J. Hippler ordered is he reserved ruling on the in limine motion, however, informed the parties that he felt State versus Meister was controlling in the matter. That's an Idaho Supreme Court case, and directed that Mr. Kohberger produce offers of proof relative to alternate perpetrators by the 14th of May 2025. This was one day before the final pretrial conference, and in a footnote, the court stated that this would be applicable to anyone who was cleared by law enforcement in the case, if this is who Mr. Kohberger was alleging was an alternate perpetrator. Mr. Kohberger did file offers of proof relative to alternate perpetrators as the court directed, but he asked the court to seal what he had advanced on May 14th, 2025, and the court did. So that information is sealed from the public. The court made reference on May 15th to his finding that there needed to be more information, specifically evidence in support of whatever it was that Mr. Kohberger was advancing by the 23rd of May, 2025. Mr. Kohberger met that second hard deadline and did submit what he says are attachments and supporting evidence to alternate perpetrators. He has always referred to this matter plural, not singular, suggesting that he is advancing the concept that more than one person than himself is responsible for the atrocities that occurred at 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022. He filed this information asking that it be sealed. The court sealed that information. So everything thus far regarding alternate perpetrators is completely sealed from public disclosure. The state of Idaho has been directed to file a response to the offers of proof relative to alternative perpetrators by June 6th. We anticipate, like everything else, this will also be filed under seal, most particularly since the court, per the case summary page, directed that the hearing on this matter of alternate perpetrators will be completely sealed and closed to the public. So where the public is right now is there are no details whatsoever whether Mr. Kohberger has filed or not filed sufficient evidence to support his claim that there are alternate perpetrators to him. And in returning to the State versus Meister case, which was specifically quoted by Judge Stephen J. Hippler in the order on the motion in limine back in April of 2025, there's nothing about that case that is under seal when it relates to alternate perpetrators. If you have not yet had an opportunity to read that case, I very much recommend that you do, especially if you're interested in this part of the case of Idaho versus Kohberger, dealing with possible alternate perpetrators. Have they gotten the right person? If it is the right person, is there anyone else out there that is responsible for these horrendous crimes? State versus Meister dealt with a 2001 unaliving of a woman who resided in a trailer in Moscow. Her name was Tanya Hart. She, like the victims here, was unalived right in her home. The perpetrator escaped. David Meister was arrested, charged, and convicted in Latah County for this crime. He alleged that there was an alternate perpetrator, actually two. He alleged that it was Ms. Hart's boyfriend, who's named in the court documents, and also that there was a person who had been hired to perpetrate this crime. So with that said, in giving my opinion, I'm wondering why it is that every single aspect of alternate perpetrators is under seal. Would it not be possible for the court, as the court has done in the past, unseal part of the hearing that's coming up on June 18th regarding alternate perpetrators, and maybe use initials as has been used in the past, or at least allow part of the legal arguments when both sides will raise the defense in alleging that they have met their burden of proof and that this information should be brought forward to the jury, and where undoubtedly the state will likely be arguing the opposite. Is there absolutely nothing about alternate perpetrators that could be released to the public, is the question that I'm proffering for educational purposes, for discussion purposes, and in proffering an opinion relative to this matter. If you have any thoughts on the matter, please leave your comments. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you like our content, please hit the like button. I would appreciate that as well. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing it and possibly even becoming a member to support our content and to also provide you with notifications of when future content is published, as matters continue full steam ahead toward voir dire in less than 60 days, which is the process of jury selection, which is currently scheduled to occur July 30th, 2025. Thank you for joining us here today.